Labyrinth 2 has found its director. The original 1986 fantasy movie was directed by Jim Henson and starred Jennifer Connelly as Sarah Williams, a teenager who must find her way through a magical labyrinth in order to rescue her kidnapped baby brother from Jareth, David Bowie, the Goblin King. It only grossed $34 million against its $25 million budget, but thanks to its success on the home video market and on television following its theatrical run, it has become a frequently re-watched cult classic since its release, prompting many calls for the sequel Labyrinth 2 over the last 4 decades. Now, Deadline confirms that Nosferatu director Robert Eggers will direct and write Labyrinth 2, which does not have an official title but will specifically be a sequel and not a remake. This news comes not long after original reports that the acclaimed filmmaker was involved with the movie in some capacity. Eggers is writing the screenplay with his The Northman and Werewolf collaborator John. The Labyrinth sequel will be produced by Chris and Eleanor Columbus with Jim Henson's daughter Lisa Henson, who is also the CEO of the Jim Henson Company. The iconic puppeteer's son Brian Henson is also on board as an executive producer. What this means for Labyrinth 2. Robert Eggers has a particular style. Anya Taylor-Joy as Thomasin screaming in The Witch. Robert Eggers is best known for helming horror movies including Nosferatu, The Witch, and The Lighthouse. While it seems highly likely that the sequel to the iconic David Bowie movie would be more fantasy-forward and horror-forward, his instincts for the horror genre could very well help fuel the return of some of the nightmarish imagery that Henson harnessed in the original movie, which included a variety of somewhat scary scenes including Sarah being grabbed at by hands protruding from a wall and an extended sequence set at a lurid fantasy masquerade that in fact, the precedent set by previous Robert Eggers movies seems to explain why he has been picked for the project, even though they might seem very different at first blush. His previous projects, particularly The Northman and Nosferatu, have showcased an intense interest in European folklore, which is a tradition from which many of the characters and settings from the original Labyrinth were born. He has also displayed an interest in favoring practical effects over CGI, which would be a necessity for a movie that will presumably feature a great deal of puppetry. Our take on the Labyrinth 2 announcement. Robert Eggers could help the movie overcome its obstacles. David Bowie as Jareth the Goblin King holding a small orb in Labyrinth. One unfortunate challenge in making the sequel is the fact that Labyrinth 2 cannot feature David Bowie as Jareth, as the iconic performer died of liver cancer in 2016. Additionally, Jim Henson's death of complications from a bacterial infection in 1990 removed another of the movie's most important stewards. However, Robert Eggers might be one of the few directors currently working who could imbue the movie with enough atmosphere and creativity to make up for such a notable absence.